As a reminder, please raise your hand and they'll pass the mic.
Just so much resilience. You guys have shown it all year.
Yeah.
I mean, like Mason coming out of the penalty box, PK doing what they did,
Yeah.
It's just, there was a lot of players contributing.
Yeah, gutsy win. I mean, you go in after the game and you want to acknowledge some of the key guys and key plays, and I could have gone around the room. Everybody jumped on tonight and did their part, and I thought we worked for a win. We did a lot of really good things. Our penalty killing's been one of the best in the league, the last 3 years. I think we felt confident going into the overtime that we could get the job done, and if we did, I think there was a good feeling that we were going to win the game. And knowing Mason, and how he was feeling about that penalty, I just, you couldn't have written a better script for how it ended.
Coach, I think we talked a little bit this morning about, Gabe's return on the
Yeah.
other side of things and the emotion surrounding that. Did you see any effect on your team?
Yeah, I didn't. First off, I want to tip my hat to Gabe. Much respect. Can't imagine the journey he's been on. I've always been a fan from the other bench of him and his play. He's got a Kitchener Ranger connection there where I worked for a long time. So, much respect, and the game needs him on the ice. So it was great to see him out there. You know what? I think it was business as usual for us. We knew the rink was gonna be electric. I mean, that's as loud as I've heard it, and I've been in this rink for some loud nights. When they introduced them, that was I think a pretty special moment for anybody in hockey. But it was business as usual when the puck dropped for us.
Coach, how you doing? Congratulations. You had, when you were sitting in the locker room, waiting for the overtime to start, you had you had to come out. You had 3:20 to kill. What's the message when you have that much time? That to me, it's not just a regular penalty; it's the double minor. Yeah.
Well, I mean, it was we just reminded our players how good our penalty kill has been for a long time, and how good our goaltender is, and there was just a reinforcement that it wasn't too big a hill to climb, that we could get the job done and find a way to get through it. And if we did, we would find a way to win the game, and we did that. Leo.
You guys have led for 1 minute and 2 seconds in regulation this entire series, but you have a 2-1 lead in the series.
Yeah.
How do you kind of put that into words of, how have you been able to persevere through some of those early deficits and, come out on top in overtime these last 2 games?
Well, I think perseverance, I think we've just stuck with it. I'm not sure, when you throw those stats out, it feels like, we've been, the ice has been tilted against us, but I don't feel that's the way. I think we've been behind, but I've liked long stretches of our game. Blackwood, for them, has to get some credit. He's kept us from finishing on some of the chances we've created, and he's responsible for some of those leads for sure. But I like how we've just stuck with it and finally got rewarded.
Pete, there's obviously been chances in the game. There's 2 good teams, but 5-on-5, outside of a few of those chances, you guys have done a really good job keeping shots low, not getting the interior. What's been the key to that against a team like this?
Just attention to detail. I think we got a real good commitment from everybody to defend. I think when you put those names up on the locker room door of McKinnon and Makar and Nakushkin and everyone else they've got, there's a little fear in the belly that I think helps with that attention to detail. We know that if we don't have that they can light you up. And I also think we've had some guys come in and do a great job. I thought our Bischel and Petrovic pair has given us some really quality minutes. Penalty killing. The special teams have been good on both ends. Power plays, some key goals. Penalty killing, some key kills. But this time of year, that's what you need.
goaltending's obviously been a huge part of this series so far. You spoke a little bit about Blackwood's game, but what can you say as a testament to Ottinger's game?
Yeah, Otter was great. You know, it started last game. I thought he got better. He got better as the game went on, as the heat turned up in the game. He got better last game. He did the same again tonight. You know, I thought that's not an easy game for him to play in. It's 1-0, and they didn't have a lot of shots until, you know, all of a sudden there's a flurry because we're killing a penalty, and that's a really tough game for a goaltender to play. I thought his mental toughness tonight was exceptional.
The 8 things we can talk about, how about Tyler Seguin coming
Yeah.
back from that whole thing, and then second goal of the playoffs and an overtime game.
Yeah, and I don't know if you've looked at it, but what a skill play. I mean, you know, from the bench, I thought it was on his stick. He actually kicked it off his skate and put it up. Yeah, yeah. So, you know, that's a high-end skill play at full speed doing that. You know, and you know what gets lost on that goal is the job Mikko Rantanen did to win a battle at the blue line, chip it by Makar to Marchment, and then get off and get Seguin on the ice. I mean, it was a big time play by Mikko for us at a big moment. So yeah, but you need that in the playoffs.
We'll do one more question.
Pete, I know we talked about Mikko quite a bit, you just mentioned it, but I mean, you were double shifting him a little bit tonight, and just overall his performance tonight.
Yeah, you know what, I think he's getting better and better. I really liked his last game. I thought he carried that into tonight. You want him to get rewarded. I thought he had a couple really good looks. He led our team in shots. You know, and again, you know, he made the play on that goal. You know, and what I like about him is, you know, just before that, he blocked a shot in our own end too. So, you know, he's doing a lot of things that maybe aren't showing up on the scoreboard, but, you know, are helping us win games.
Thanks, Pete.
Okay, thank you.
Sure.